What is going on, Lakers fam? This is your boy Jay Lake, bringing you Lakers all day, all the time. Again, thank you guys for coming on, Big Al
Thank you, Jay Lake. I'm excited for
and
this
Mario.
conversation.
Thank you, Jay Lake. I'm excited as well.
So, into the wild blue yonder we go. Time to reload and retool. For those players that are staying with the Lakers, I'm hoping that they're adding another aspect or two to their bag because, every player during the offseason needs to add something to the repertoire.
Definitely, I know a couple that definitely need to add things to their bag. One of them is AD. He's gonna have to learn how to be healthy and consistent, and reclaim that 3-point jumper because that thing it hasn't been anywhere since the bubble.
Broke like a
Hey,
jar.
there's some of them that need a bag, not just work on a few in the bag. Some of them need a bag. Okay,
Okay.
so what we see in the postseason, I ain't see anything. Right? We can't. No one can shoot. We realized, we found that out in the postseason. The Lakers have no shooters. No one can shoot. AD's not allowed. I mean, LeBron is not allowed to shoot. So yeah, there's some stuff people need to work on, and some people that needed to leave the team.
Our biggest priority during the offseason, I mean, it shouldn't be, but LBJ, right? He is our floor general. He is everything for the Lakers. I mean, with him on the team, any team, they always have a chance at the championship. But for that Denver series, we needed everything and more from LBJ. He had to be that point guard, he had to be that power forward, he had to be that center, and more just to kind of stay close to keep us in that game. I feel like it's kind of like a rabbit hole. It's like we shouldn't have to depend on our aging superstar this much. I mean, with that kind of production, we should be getting something from all of our role players, and that sure wasn't the case for that last series.
Yeah, this was LeBron's worst series. I've never seen him play this poorly, shoot this poorly. He looked old, and he's our floor general. He's our superstar. He's still the alpha on this team, but I mean the numbers they have not been getting better since he's been in the playoffs. Looking at his 3-point percentage, it's the lowest he's had in 10 since the 2011-2012 season. I mean, he shot 26% from three-pointers. He was one of the worst three-point shooters in the playoffs this year. His plus minus was barely zero point 0.8 total. He was still a great floor general, still getting assists out, but he was turning the ball over so much. He made bad selections. He was the smartest player on the floor. His mind still worked, but it was just not there for him physically with the jump shot. And yeah,
Because he was tired, right? Maybe it was the legs. But obviously you mentioned the 26% 3-point. Was that a steady decline from 10 years ago, or just his worst in 10 years?
no,
Yeah.
for the last playoffs, he shot 37.5%. In 2020, he shot 37%. So, I mean, that's a whole 11 points.
Okay. Well, from now on, LeBron's not allowed to shoot a three ever again. I'm sorry. Until I see him make five in a row in a game, then he's allowed to shoot the next game. But he's not allowed to shoot. I'm sorry. But what do you expect from LeBron James? Every team he's been on, he has to be the guy to do everything. Are you surprised? Look at the teams that he had in the finals. Look at the '07 Cleveland team. He has to do everything. Even in Miami, with the first year against Dallas, the Mavericks, I think it was 2011, LeBron tried to be that Robin to Dwayne Wade being the Batman and not do everything. Look what happened. They lost. And what happened the following year? LeBron changed the role, said, all right, Dwayne Wade, this is your team, but I'm going to be Batman and you're going to be Robin. And look what happened. They won two straight back-to-back championships, doing that. And then they ran into San Antonio on the fourth year. They just, I don't know what happened then. I still think LeBron
The, the
took
air
it off.
conditioning didn't work, remember?
Oh, it's right. That's what happened. They were
He started
exhausted
getting
from
those
the
cramps.
no AC and the cramps. But again, every team LeBron plays on, he has to do everything. Why do you think he's number one in scoring? Why do you think he's fourth in assists? Was it fourth? I think he's the top 10 in rebounds. If not, he'll be there soon. I mean, the man does everything because that's what the team that he's on. needs him to be. And it's no different here as a Laker. He needs to do everything. You know, he has young guys around him. But honestly, this postseason, he was the worst at threes. And I was yelling every single time I knew he wanted to shoot a three, not to shoot, because it was gonna be a miss. It was a brick. He built, I think, a mansion off his bricks, right? I think is what happened this postseason. He built a mansion. So, you know, he's gonna have to be that guy again next year. I'm sorry to hear that 21st season in his career. He'll have to be that guy again because you can't rely on who? AD? No, you can't rely on this guy. If you know what, trade them both.
All
Start
right,
over, rebuild.
for all you LBJ haters out there, Mario, I think I'm going to put you in a tier with Skip over there. I mean, you can't
Don't do that.
you can't complain about this. There's his accolades, right? Look, 20 seasons, 4 championships, 4 Finals MVP, 4 regular season MVPs, 10 Finals appearances, league's all-time scoring record on his resume. Come on now. I mean, with all that on his resume, he broached retirement. That last game, after that last game, he was asked, so when you say you got to think about stuff, what thread should we be pulling on? And he said, if I want to continue to play, as in next year, yeah. You would walk away, I got to think about it. What do you guys make of all this? You think LBJ's done?
He's not done, but somehow I wish that he would announce a retirement. I don't know what the rules are for the cap
He wants a
space. Maybe
tour? Is that why? Give him
no,
a
no, no,
tour?
no. I wish that he would say I'm retiring. I don't know the rules on the cap. What if his cap number erases and then they're able to, he comes out of retirement, signs back with the Lakers, and then get another star, add more players to their team. I don't know what the rule is on that. We got to find out on the cap show. But if he would say that, maybe he'd get time for rest, come back mid-season with a new squad, and he's ready to win chip number 5. I don't know.
Nah, you want him to bust a Brady, huh? Announce retirement,
Maybe.
change his mind, come back?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, Brady
Obviously
won another chip when he was traded to
to the
the
Bucks, but
Bucks.
remember he retired as a Buck and then came back as a Buck. Anyway, I
Mhm.
hate Brady, so let's skip that one. Peyton Manning is the best quarterback to ever live. But anyways, LBJ said that basically was a message to the front office. Hey, give me some better pieces, maybe some more veteran leadership, or give me a sharpshooter so I don't have to shoot up threes himself. I don't know, but it was a message to the front office. If something doesn't change this offseason, he will be out. Maybe he tries for a year, comes back. I don't know. I mean, he's done enough in his career, right, to retire. I mean, if he tomorrow said, I'm done, no one's gonna blame him. And his accolades built up. He's obviously top 3 ever to play the game. I will always put Kobe number 1, so don't give me that. Don't at me, whatever, because Kobe in my heart is number 1 and always will be. I would put LeBron number 2 and MJ number 3. You could switch those 2. I don't care. But Kobe in my heart is number 1. RIP. So again, it was more towards a front office message, like do something or I am out.
So the official NBA cap is if he did decide, oh, I'm going to retire this year, Lakers would put him on the list of voluntary retirement. We would get that cap space. But he is not able to re-sign or come back or sign with another team for a year. So basically that whole year, he's not able to come back.
No, for sure he's going to play out this season. He's definitely coming back. He's not going to retire. The Lakers are not going to trade him unless he requests a trade, and that's unlikely. He wants to see Bronny play at USC. He's not going to move away, and he's definitely not going to play for the Clippers. Let me tell you that.
No. But if you trade LeBron, you might get some good pieces and to rebuild.
All right, let's save that one. So let's go into the pros and cons. All right. For me, the pros, I feel like when you have LeBron James on your team, it's always a title aspiration team, right? It doesn't matter which team he goes to. It's always chip for that team, potential chip. Any night he's able to go for a triple-double. That's just he's able to average that if he really wants, if he's locked in. He's still the best passer in the game. And, he makes the team all around better when he's locked in. If we go into the cons, then, he's been having a bad habit of being disinterested or just kind of taking games off. A lot of times he takes one game on, one game off, and as Mario said, a lot of times he's the leader, right? We follow him into war, and he leads by example. And when he takes one game off, or half a game on, half a game off, or 1 quarter on, 1 quarter off, other players do that too. AD is a big example of that because he's been doing the same thing, and there's several of our role players that are doing the same thing. And a lot of times, all of those players, they go to him and be like, oh, what's the secret to your longevity? Yeah, it's your training regimen, but this is kind of what he does also in the regular season and even in the playoffs, which can hurt a team. He's an aging superstar. He takes about 40% of our cap space. Negative 3 point offensive liability, almost to the point of what Russell Westbrook was, and that kind of hurts because a lot of times we ask the question, why do all these players with really good 3 point percentages tank whenever they get to the Lakers, right? I mean, it's because LeBron James kind of leads them and takes his shots whenever he wants to, and that selfish mentality kind of transfers over to all the other players that be like, oh, LBJ's the go, right? If he's doing it, I could do it too because he does what's needed. And I mean, it's not just LBJ; it's also the coach's fault because with Ham, a lot of times he doesn't have that kind of off-ball movement, or he's not a statistics coach, right? He doesn't say like, oh, this player, 3 point percent wise, he's really good in the corner, or he's really good at the top of the key, and that's where I'm going to put these players for these plays, and that kind of makes our 3 point percentage tank as well. A lot of late game ineffectiveness for LBJ. He doesn't want to drive, sort of even like Simmons, right? Ben Simmons, he drives, but he's afraid to drive because he's going to get fouled late game, and then he's going to have to shoot the free throws, and he's not going to make it. And with his injury history, he doesn't want to, I guess, drive through contact, right? Because that's usually when you get injured. Um, Chip or bust. I mean, that's both good and bad. Good in that he leverages everything, kind of like what he said during the post game presser. Leverages everything and makes sure that your team always pushes all your chips into the center for a championship. So it aligns with his championship window. Bust in that it's not good for the future of our team because he's kind of selfish and everything's focused on him. We kind of have to empty the cupboards or trade away our best assets just to get him the best shot at winning, and that's not always long term goal for any team.
I mean, yeah, it's true. LeBron is going to want this team to use any asset they have to put a better team, a better shot at winning a championship around him. And yeah, that's going to deplete our team of assets. Luckily, we've been able to acquire some assets through the trade. Yeah, we had to trade a bunch of second rounders to get Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura looks like he's going to be a Laker. Um, we were able to get D'Angelo Russell, and we could flip him for somebody else in a sign and trade. Um, we were able to get. I mean, Malik Beasley's still considered a 3 point shooter, and he's serviceable. Next year, he'll have a 1 year uh, a deal. So, I mean, that's something that can be traded. It's a 1 year deal. Maybe we take on more money to get him away. We still have the first round pick this year. I think it's number 17 or 18, somewhere around there.
17th pick, I believe.
17th pick. And then we have other assets that we've acquired. Mo Bamba, we can also do that in a sign and trade. He's a restricted free agent. So there are assets that we got, young players. And, Rob is going to have this job of like trying to navigate finding a good balance of veterans and, young players to keep this team together.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like every team LeBron is on, and especially the Lakers too, and in general as an organization, right? They don't build teams for the future. They build them to win now. And that's always been a Lakers organization type of way how they did things, right? They don't really build their players up. They draft really well, they have good assets, but they trade them for players that are ready to win now. And that would mean older veterans, right? And so the older veterans, they've been there, they've done that, they might have a year or two left in them. So it seems like that's LeBron's team, and that's how Lakers do things anyways. So I
Yeah.
don't expect them to try to build a team. They're gonna use their assets for a win now, and it makes more sense because LeBron is on his last season, maybe two, but let's say the next year's his last year. They're gonna put everything into win now, and they'll worry about the Lakers' future after that championship.
Yeah, I mean, like Mario's right. We've had this before. It was done by the Lakers. They traded away Eddie George, Eddie George,
Jones,
Eddie Jones,
Eddie
Eddie
Jones,
Jones. They've traded away Nick Van Exel.
Van Axel,
They traded away a bunch of guys to get into a win now
Vlade
mode.
Divac,
Vlade Divac
or
for
Kobe.
Kobe. I
That was worth it.
mean,
Totally.
yeah, totally
been.
best trade in Laker history.
Uh-huh.
They've traded players. They've traded away their future just to get guys to come in and help win a championship. So it's nothing new. We're just a little bit behind because we had to trade assets to get AD. Now that trade actually benefits us in most of the cases. The Pelicans who use the picks, they traded away those guys and they're not really left anywhere with anything new or good. And the pick swaps really don't really benefit them or us. So
Except for BI.
except for BI. I mean BI, but you give something good to get something good, So the trade it still benefits us. I mean, after how many years after 3-4 years after the trade, I think it's still worth it. We got a chip out of
We
it.
won a championship, so
Yeah,
it was worth it.
I mean, at the end of the day, if we get a chip out of like making a trading the 17th pick, I mean,
It's
we'll
worth it.
take that any day. Yeah. And we
Mhm.
were able to acquire young assets, like I said earlier. I mean, just to be able to have those picks or those trade pieces later.
All right, Lakers fam. So we were gonna go into AD as well, but we're gonna save that for the next video. We will probably get a little bit more personal on our next video on our opinions about these. But thank you for tuning in, and like and subscribe if you haven't. Please leave any comments down below if you agree or disagree with what we have to say. And we will see you guys next time.
Go Lakers.
All right, go Lakers.